Hey there everybody, and welcome back to more Silent Hill Downpour. The last time we found ourselves directly in front of the St. Maria's Monastery, which I kept calling an orphanage for some odd reason. And, well, before we actually head into there, I did want to grab one more thing off on this little side path here. It's a nice little additional secret that I want to get out of the way. And it does give us more of an opportunity to use the shotgun. And to show off one of the few times in this video that I will be somewhat proficient at combat. But next to this fountain we do find another mystery. This one actually gives us a little bit more backstory on Napier, who we ran into in the showers in the first update. We see that he was definitely pretty easily convicted, but, well, kind of a hollow victory because obviously, well, he still managed to kill a child. But in this dead end here, we do find another lit barrel and another freshly dug mound of earth. And wouldn't you know it, there is magically a shovel here. I don't know how that could have possibly gotten here. And what artifact do we find waiting for us this time but Robbie the rabbit? Yeah, we have seen Robbie in, I think, Silent Hill 3 and Silent Hill 4 as one of the mini mascots of the Lakeside Amusement Park. We haven't really seen him in a non-bloodied state, but, well, I do think that particular doll was of a rather mint condition. But with the weather kicking up, I really think it's time we head inside, especially before any more enemies suddenly start popping up.
Yes. May I help you?
I'm Murphy Pendleton. I received this letter today, but I think there's been a mistake.
Ah, yes. Mr. Pendleton. We've been expecting you. You were the only family we were able to locate. Your presence is very welcome.
Family? No, that can't be. I mean...
Bless you, child. I understand this must be very confusing for you. We've checked the records carefully, and I assure you, there's no mistake. Please, come in.
What the hell?
He died peacefully, and is finally at rest. For that, at least, we can thank the Lord for his mercy. He didn't leave much behind, but his few personal effects are yours to claim.
What happened here? Was there an earthquake?
I'll meet you in the morgue in the East Wing, when you're ready. In the meantime, please feel free to look around. We're pleased that the good Lord has allowed us to carry out his work here at St. Maria's. I'm sure you'll find your visit enlightening.
That is certainly what the story needed, another cryptic character to deal with. It's kind of a bit bizarre that she didn't seem to even notice the fact that, well, St. Maria seems to be in a rather dilapidated state.
Where'd she go? My God. What happened here?
And dilapidated might actually be something of an understatement in this case. This seems pretty much like a disaster zone. Thankfully, the game keeps us from falling into this deep chasm here. It does bring up the question as to where she might have actually went off to. She said she was heading to the morgue. Well, it does seem to be in this general direction, but, well, due to the boards, we have no way to actually get through the door right now. We do find a map for the area, though. We will be finding a few maps for St. Maria's. As you can probably tell by the length of the video, it is a pretty large area overall. But we'll be making short work of it. Ah, but the UV light has shed some light as to where we need to go.
Hold on. There's something behind it.
That is some quick thinking, Murphy. Let's go ahead and move this bookcase out of the way. With a nice, unnecessary QuickTime event. What on earth have we stumbled upon? Seemingly a pretty grisly murder is waiting behind the scenes of St. Maria's. Kinda hard to tell what else has been going on in this back room here, or what this is even supposed to be, outside of a plumber's nightmare. But it's really best not to linger for too long. All we need is the axe. And now it's time to go. Yeah, if you're really in the mood to fight dolls, or if you want to get the achievement for killing dolls, that room is probably a good place to do that, but... well, I am kinda sad I left behind the shotgun. And... well, let's just say we're not going to be getting that shotgun back. Yeah, the hole mysteriously fills, leaving behind a axe in a fairly easy place to get it. That is, just in case you happen to decide to fight those dolls with the axe and you lose it. But either way, due to the 2-weapon limit, we would have had to get rid of either the pistol or the shotgun, and I did want to hang on to the pistol for at least a little bit longer. Yeah, and for some odd reason they give you that weird little time limit there where Screamer could hop onto your back if you take too long, but, well, we won't have to worry about that.
Hey there. Do you live here?
Sister said we're not supposed to talk to strangers. Oh. It's just you.
What's your name? Hey, maybe you could unlock this door. Think you could do that for me?
It's a pretty cool car you got there. You like cars? Yeah, my little boy. He used to play with cars just like that. You kind of remind me of him.
Is he dead?
Yeah.
Did you kill him?
What? No, of course not. Why would you say something like that?
Because she said you're the boogeyman.
Boogeyman? What are you talking about? Who said that?
She did. She told me all about you.
Why is she crying? Who is she?
I don't know. Just some girl. She's always sad, but she knows things.
What kind of things?
Things about the boogeyman.
Look, I won't lie to you. Grown-ups tell kids there's no such thing as monsters, that the boogeyman's just make-believe, and there's nothing hiding under their beds. But that's a lie, because I've seen him. And I have a feeling you have too. But I'm not one of them. I'm not the boogeyman. Now what do you say we get out of here, all three of us?
Do you know the rhyme?
What rhyme?
She told me there's a secret rhyme that makes the boogeyman go away. If you say it fast enough, he can't hurt you. Do you know it?
No. But if there's a rhyme that can do that, I sure wish you'd teach it to me.
Then I guess she's right. You are the boogeyman.
Kid, look at me. I'm not a monster.
Not yet.
Yeah, much as the same reason that children can understand Gamera, well, the pure heart of a child obviously knows the deep hidden truths within Murphy Pendleton. But I do think we can find a way to appease that child. I got a strong feeling that somewhere in St. Maria's is that rhyme that he was asking for. Obviously, that means that we are going to have to delve deeper. And deal with the many terrors that are waiting in St. Maria's. Now, I was fairly certain that there was supposed to be a box of bullets somewhere out here. But either way, it does allow us to take a view of this lovely visage into another really deep, bottomless chasm that seems to populate this area of Silent Hill. As to whether or not these chasms are actually meant to represent something, or just the usual means to isolate Silent Hill from the rest of the world, it's kind of hard to say. That is certainly lovely. What's even more lovely are very ineffectual death traps. Yeah, behind some of these doors we do get a little bit of a heart-pumping, terrifying almost fall into the deep chasm, but it's easy enough to pull back.
Hey, kid! Wait!
Yeah, kids are pretty much assholes throughout Silent Hill, so that's not that big of a surprise. But we do get another lovely view out here. And actually something that's pretty easy to overlook is that we can actually ring the bell up here in the belfry. And what's the benefit of that, you might be asking? Well, no benefit. It's actually a very dickish trap. Yeah, by ringing that bell, it actually summons up 2 dolls, about a floor down on these stairs. And I do want to deeply apologize. I honestly hadn't played in about a month since I previously recorded. So I had a bit of a brain fart in regards to, I guess, the combat controls. I do want to say that this does not continue for the entire video, and that honestly it actually is pretty difficult to fight 2 dolls at once, but there is really no good excuse. It does at least show to some degree that you can throw your melee weapon as a means to defend yourself, even though it's a really bad idea. But at least this gives a good example of how deadly the dolls can be. So let's never, never speak of that again. But we didn't even actually need to chase that little girl up all those stairs. What we wanted is right through this door.
What the hell? Shit!
And it seems like there are still aftershocks going throughout St. Maria's. It might be best to find that rhyme that the little boy was talking about as quickly as possible. Even though it did kind of strike me that there were some, well, words on the wall that were only seen with the ultraviolet light in, well, I did want to go back and read them, but I did kind of forget that this was kind of a point of no return. But if you were interested, well, the words on the wall actually said, I've been dreaming of birds, which, from what we have been seeing from the birds we have been freeing, well, we can only assume that has to do with Murphy.
It looks like a rhyme book.
Well, it looks like our journey might be coming to an end fairly quickly. We just had to find some way to get through this gated up, well, gate. Thankfully, the solution is pretty close by. We just have to hack away at this rope here. And now we have a nice weighted battering ram.
Almost got it.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure why they made you do this twice outside of wasting time. But just like that, we have now found ourselves an access to a book of rhymes, which hopefully should, well, appease that kid. But you may notice that it says fragment.
What? 2 of the pages are torn out.
Yeah, it looks like we do have to get a few more pages for this rhyme to be finished. The good news is that that still allows us to take in all of the wonderful sights that St. Maria has for us. And it also will kind of elucidate why I might have been calling this an orphanage in the first place. And wouldn't you know it, here are those box of bullets I was thinking about beforehand. And there is where I thought they were before, but yeah, we have actually reached what could actually be called the orphanage / school portion of St. Maria's. Got a nice little innocuous playground going on here. Even though I think that tire swing is kind of inaccessible. Well, the swing is definitely more accessible now, but yeah, I still don't really think that's too kid-friendly. And seeing as we are now sitting on something of a surplus of pistol bullets, I figured it might be a good idea to switch on back to the golden gun and get a little bit more use out of that. And nothing says true terror like a extremely dirty kitchen, I suppose. But it's really kind of hard to tell if St. Maria's was ever actually up to code, I'd say. It's really hard to tell with the just the overall degradation that has come with being in Silent Hill. I mean, for all we know, this place could have been really nice at some point. I mean, if we look up on the bulletin board, the kids are obviously having some fun in the sun. It is a mildly bit disconcerting, just the sheer amount of first aid kits they throw at you in this particular area. I mean, I do appreciate them, but it does give a sense of foreboding.
You won't find yourself, Murph, until you face the truth.
And I think we're all still very much questioning what the truth is in this situation. I mean, to some degree, we have been getting a lot of impressions about missing children and that ilk. And we have seen that Murphy has gone through the loss of a child. But it does seem that a lot of things are pointing out that maybe Napier had some hand in that. I mean, we know that Napier did something to some child, we just don't know who. And for some reason or another, well, Murphy seemed to know him, so there definitely seems to be some connection there. But why did the kid we met earlier even ask that whether or not we had killed our own child? Well, beyond all that, we get our first inkling that things might not have been in the up and up here at St. Maria's. Seems that one of the children here really wanted to get word to their parents that they weren't really having a good time here, and that the staff of St. Maria's wanted to cut off that line of communication before things got out of hand. Also in the back room here, we do find a normal pistol. I was questioning mentally whether or not picking that up would have been a good idea, whether or not that would have actually given us another pistol clip, or if it would have replaced our golden gun. But I did want to hang on to this poker because we will be needing it pretty shortly. Because unbeknownst to us, there was actually a school play that we are going to be attending. First things first, though, we can't just have a play without anything going on. Problem is that all of the things we need to actually get the play going are up on the second floor. And, well, without this fire poker, we wouldn't have been able to get up there. We could have taken the steps up, but the door would have been locked otherwise. But up here we do find our next major puzzle. And it's actually a really fun puzzle. I'm really looking forward to showing this off. But first things first, it's good to get some instructions as to what to do. And it seems that we will be putting on one of Grimm's fairy tales for Hansel and Gretel. Yeah, we do get some stage directions here. And this will be giving us our step-by-step instructions as to putting on the play. The main problem is that, well, it does mention that we're going to have to be putting on music, and well, looking at that phonograph there, we are definitely missing music. Conveniently, though, we won't be having to look too far. All the items we need to solve the puzzle are in the next room here. We've got a lever marked number 2, and our phonograph music. And now, all we simply have to do are follow the steps given, and we'll have the play set and ready to go. So with everything set, in case you were curious as to, well, if you didn't pick up the instructions, you could use these lights as a means to...
These lights probably cue the stage technician.
As a means to figure out what to do. But the first thing to do is to turn down the lights low. Second thing is to get some nice atmospheric music going. That is lovely. Next is to draw your attention to center stage. With a nice audio environment going, we want to get a nice visual environment set. As the children venture deep into some dark, scary woods, they happened upon a out-of-the-way cabin. And it was upon reaching this cabin that the weather took a turn for the worse. And much like Hansel and Gretel, we have lost our trail of breadcrumbs. And we find ourselves, as well, lost in the forest. this new, pretty mysterious area, we do have to make our way to the log cabin through this dark and stormy night. It's a pretty short path, but it is, well, incredibly dark, as you can probably tell, and very easy to lose your way. Additionally, there are a few screamers and a weeping bat, but in all reality, it's best just to ignore them and head to the cabin as quickly as possible. You are in relative safety within the confines of the cabin, but if we take a look around, well, we don't actually see the source of the screams we heard before. Really, the only thing we have to interact with in the cabin is this little hope chest here in the corner. It does have a simple puzzle to solve. All we have to do are turn these tiles until it forms a complete picture. I just decided to go ahead and speed it up, as it, even if you know the solution, it still takes about a minute or two. Also, even though it is a bit sped up, we can actually hear Born Free playing in the background. But for our troubles, we get a blackboard eraser, and more importantly, we get the second poem fragment. It seems we have some company in the form of two dolls, yet again. But just like that, the illusion is broken. I do really love that set piece. It vaguely reminds me of, trying to remember which part it was in Silent Hill Origins, but it was the one where you had to throw the switches on the stage and set up the play there. But with the first floor cleared, it's now safe to head up to the second floor.
Well, the itsy bitsy spider went up the water spout. Washed the spider out. Out came the sun and dried up all the rain. And the itsy bitsy spider went up the spout again.
Come on out, sweetie. Not gonna hurt you.
Well, safe is a very relative term, I suppose. Or at least not stuck in a fake play where we're going to be consumed by dolls in the forest. Still no idea who that little girl is. I mean, I do seem to recall whenever we were sliding through the other world of the Centennial Building, we did see a little girl running through there. And I suppose we have seen a few newspaper clippings that were mentioning a missing girl, but I don't know, that little girl really doesn't seem to match the description of any of the missing children. But on the blackboard here, we can pretty much see what we needed that blackboard eraser for.
Charlie? Charlie! Charlie!
So what did happen to Charlie? Well, with one more piece of the puzzle opened up, we have no other choice now but to continue heading forward. And as we continue heading forward, if we do look around with our watchful eye, we do find another mystery. This one uncovering more and more just the questionable state of the St. Maria Institute. Yeah, no longer just a monastery. We now find that the place we're currently in was something of a place for wayward children. When I say wayward, I mean needing to be hospitalized for sometimes psychiatric, sometimes psychotic reasons. Now, that is not to say that it was entirely all the patient's fault. There were times when we could probably be able to tell that sometimes the doctors were less than reputable. Sometimes they would go to experimental measures to get their way. And since we do have a radio here, let's see what's playing on the radio. I could almost hear a faint voice. I'm not sure if it was DJ Rick's, but I'm not exactly sure if it was anything we would really want to hear. But it is best to rush through this area. There definitely aren't as many screamers as that little cutscene would give you the idea that there are, but... well, if you're like me at this point, you are probably really sick and tired of screamers. Thankfully, that little play that we went through did give us a double-bladed axe, so that is really helpful. And we actually don't have too much left of this St. Maria's. And that is probably for the best, considering that there is a small tornado that is tearing its way through the Institute. Now we do find yet another mystery here. Just, St. Maria's was a bad place. Let's just get that out of the way. Some people died, some people got unnecessary shock therapy. Probably some kids got horribly murdered. This place was bad news. And that pretty much goes for every part of Silent Hill. I'm sure you can't go to a fast food restaurant that didn't have a mass murder, or can't go to a bathroom that isn't horribly haunted. And I do want to point out that normally there is an artifact in this particular room. It is, I think, a small van that was owned by Pat Napier, or part of his business. But as with most artifacts, once you pick them up once, they do stop appearing. It does seem to some degree that this would have been a great place to introduce another enemy type, but, well, the game was really never known for its enemies. Or at least Downpour never was. But we now find ourselves in what I like to refer to as the special care area of St. Maria's.
I don't want to take any more medicine. It makes my tummy hurt.
Yeah, I can only assume that this is where the more ghastly things happened in St. Maria's. Yep, St. Maria's was definitely third in line behind Alchemia or Brookhaven in regards to really bad places to go to get medical care in Silent Hill. But in this particular room we do have another little time-wasting puzzle of sorts. Seems that from this memo we can garner that there is actually a key to that little courtyard area we were in before. But, well, the key happened to be eaten by one of the unruly patients here at the Institute, and they were going to do some involuntary surgery to get that key out. But it looks like we have 3 patients here, and this very large X-ray machine waiting. And you can probably put 2 and 2 together because only the finest doctors watch my ILPs. Yeah, we need to drag each one of these bodies into the X-ray machine, which I felt the need to show off Sans' body for some reason. But as far as I can tell, this is incredibly time-wasting, more or less. The body that the key is in is always randomized, And usually with my luck, it always ends up being the final body that I check. But you can actually completely circumvent the X-ray machine if you really wanted to. All you have to do is examine each one of these bodies, even though, well, if you happen to pick the wrong body twice, well, you're gonna have to fight a screamer. So it's more or less a choice of, do you want to push a cart around, or do you want to fight more screamers? But we finally do find the screamer who has the key inside of them. And now it's time to play a little trauma center. And yes, you will get that animation no matter what.
This won't be fun.
But we do get a lovely and completely necessary QuickTime event. Really not too difficult to solve. But for our troubles of digging around inside of this horrible screamer, we do find our final poem fragment. And we also find a key to the courtyard, which means that we can now easily backtrack back to that little boy and hopefully get the hell out of this place finally.
It's the rest of the rhyme. Wonder if that kid will let me through the door now.
Yeah, we'll show that little bastard who has a rhyme. And it is incredibly convenient that they do give us a means to get all the way back, especially considering that, well, with how much St. Maria's is indeed collapsing in on itself. And yes, there is one of those little falling traps in there. There's no reason to check. That it's rather nice they do give us a easy means back to the start of St. Maria's. And no matter how many times I play Downpour, whenever I enter this room, I feel there has to be a med kit or a weapon or just something in here, but no, it's just a big empty room. There's no mirror voice triggers, there's nothing. It's just a big empty room. And just doing a quick scan to make sure I don't miss any easily missed mysteries or medkits. But here is the door that should lead us directly back into the courtyard and straight back into the mortuary. Should be easy going. Son of a bitch. Yeah, I don't ever want to face Weeping Bats again, so fuck him. Yeah, let's just get back to that boy and get this update finished.
Hey, kid. I got the rhyme. I say it and you open the door. That's how it works, right? Hey, did you hear me? I said... Hey! Kid! Look out! It's... Get out of there! Come on! Poor little Steven Skelter. Even the chaplain won't forgive you. Forever lies your pleading cries, but Susie knows you felt her shit. Nowhere left for you. Nowhere left for you to run. Every fault laid bare in the open. Duh! Leave him alone, damn it! No! Along with your skin splayed out from within. Once the monster has his fun. Oh, God! Darling! Take heed. It's not too late. His mistakes needn't haunt you forever. He's just a kid, you son of a bitch. Though you have regret, you can't just forget. You alone decide your fate. Charlie, I'm sorry. So sorry. Charlie! Charlie! Oh, God. Charlie! Charlie!
Mr. Pendleton, I have to ask you to leave, sir. We've got everything under control.
Where's my son? Where's Charlie?
Please, Mr. Pendleton, you don't want to be here. Let one of my officers drive you back to the command center, and we'll call you when...
Where's my boy? Is he out there? Charlie! 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 Charlie!
Why did you hurt him? He never did anything to you!
Wasn't me. I didn't. I mean... Wait! Come back! That thing is in there! It's not safe. Oh, shit.
It's not really safe anywhere, Murphy. See you next time for more Silent Hill Downpour.